Good evening, I'm Michael and you're watching KiniNews, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. For the fourth consecutive day, we're seeing higher number of recoveries than new cases detected. Malaysia continues to report more recoveries than new COVID-19 infections on Thursday. Health Ministry Director General Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah announced 119 recoveries today. This puts the total number of recoveries at 2,766. Even with 110 new cases, recoveries remain higher with the number of active cases, which now stands at 2,332. Dr. Nur Hisham also reported one new death, bringing the latest death toll to 84.
So we have tested more than 90,000 test samples been taken and 90,000 individual. But our positive case is only 5,182, accounts for 5.4%. So what is more important is that we are doing focused approach, meaning focus into the location and also the high-risk group. And if you look into our population, majority, about 39 to 40%, involve the tabligh group.
The third phase of the MCO will see more sectors being allowed to operate, but approval will come with strict conditions. Here's more on that. The Cabinet has decided to allow several additional economic sectors to operate in phases during the Movement Control Order, which has been extended until April 28th on the condition that they adhere to strict health and safety guidelines. International Trade and Industry Minister Azmin said that companies in the additional sectors listed have to submit the application to MITI and must comply with the standard operating procedures that have been set in their respective sectors. He said MITI has been provided with guidelines on health precautions and strict movement control from the Ministry of Health that are to be adopted by the companies that are allowed to operate.
MITI juga telah mewajibkan supaya syarikat-syarikat yang dibenarkan beroperasi mesti mengemukakan senarai pekerja yang terlibat semasa tempoh PKP dan memastikan pergerakan pekerja terbabit hanya terhad dari rumah ke kilang atau premis sahaja. Syarikat hendaklah menyediakan alat saringan suhu badan atau thermal scanner serta saringan gejala batuk, sakit tekak atau sesak nafas. Bacaan bagi setiap pekerja hendaklah direkod dan disimpan untuk tempoh sekurang-kurangnya 3 bulan untuk rujukan.
Azmin added that as a safety measure to ensure that workers of companies allowed to operate are free of COVID-19, the ministry will collaborate with the Ministry of Human Resources through SOCSO to ensure all workers undergo COVID-19 screening. Employers applying to operate must ensure that all their workers undergo screening at any of the 3,000 over SOCSO panel health clinics nationwide. We're now in phase 3 of the Movement Control Order, but hundreds are still being caught for violating the MCO every day. Senior Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob revealed today that 1,315 individuals were arrested on Wednesday for violating the Movement Control Order. From that number, 1,226 have been remanded and 49 released on police bail. 312 were also charged in court for violating the MCO.
Undang-undang tentang PKP ini masih lagi berjalan seperti biasa. PKP belum lagi ditarik balik. PKP berterusan lagi untuk PKP ketiga. Dan sesiapa yang engkar tetap akan dikenakan undang-undang di bawah PKP ini. Jadi kehadiran begitu banyak kenderaan di jalan raya ini seolah-olah rakyat sudah lupa bahawa PKP masih lagi dilaksanakan dan mereka masih tertakluk kepada undang-undang di bawah PKP ini.
Ismail Sabri said since the MCO began, 11,017 individuals were arrested by authorities for not complying. Based on police intelligence, the minister revealed the increased number of vehicles on the road was due to some non-essential businesses exploiting the opportunity to begin operating again. Ismail reminded businesses that they may only operate if they obtain an approval from the government. Without the approval, businesses cannot start operating. Action will be taken against businesses for not complying with the MCO. The opposition continues to lobby for a special Dewan Rakyat sitting. Anwar Ibrahim even brought this up during his meeting with the Prime Minister. PKR President Anwar Ibrahim continues to call for an emergency Dewan Rakyat sitting to develop a bipartisan response to the COVID-19 outbreak. Anwar revealed that he brought up the topic during his meeting with Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin this week.
Sidang parlimen khas ini penting diawalkan untuk dibetulkan beberapa hal. Umpamanya, apakah perlu dalam satu sidang semua ahli parlimen hadir ataupun dipersetujui sebahagian, setengah saja hadir mewakili parti masing-masing. Perkara ini dibolehkan kalau kita pindah peraturan mesyuarat parlimen. Hal ini patut disegerakan dan kerajaan mesti bersetuju.
During a live session on his Facebook page today, Anwar also said that the COVID-19 outbreak should not be used as an excuse because there are many ways to make a parliament sitting happen.
Jangan kita cari jalan mengatakan ada masalah COVID-19, tak boleh ada sidang, tak boleh ada bahas. Itu mudah jadinya. Padahal ada penyelesaian yang munasabah. Apakah boleh diadakan mengikut peraturan mesyuarat yang dipindah satu sidang yang menggunakan video conferencing saja atau melalui Zoom dan lain-lain. Hal-hal ini patut dibincangkan.
Earlier this week, the Harapan Presidential Council said the emergency sitting's objective would be to rescue Malaysia's economy and save jobs. Meanwhile, Anwar also responded to critics over his meeting with the Prime Minister.
Ini beza. Saya bukan pergi jumpa Menteri nak buat pakatan, nak buat pintu belakang, nak khianat, tak ada. Ya? Dan saya pula buat telus. Sebelumnya saya maklum, selepasnya saya maklum, dan tadi dalam mesyuarat Majlis Presiden saya jelaskan kerana bagi saya kepentingan rakyat, kepentingan negara, kepentingan keselamatan mengatasi paham kelompok dan kabilah dalam politik.
The Education Ministry announced yesterday that UPSR and PT3 will be cancelled this year. However, one UMNO leader believes it shouldn't be cancelled yet. UMNO Vice President Khalid Nordin has urged the Education Minister to exhaust all methods and alternatives before cancelling the UPSR and PT3 exams. In a statement today, he said education and evaluation of students is a vital part of the education system. Thus, he said the government should implement a different method before cancelling it. Khalid suggested that the ministry looks into how other countries such as Germany, Japan, South Korea and Taiwan have carried out their major examinations in the midst of the COVID-19 outbreak. He said perhaps the government could prioritise students who are sitting for national exams, whether by allowing them to go to schools or by preparing exams online. He also suggested that the government could consider allowing those in green zones to take the exams as planned, while those in red zones and surrounding areas sit for the exams later. Yesterday, Education Minister Radzi Jidin announced that the UPSR and PT3 examinations for this year will be cancelled, while SPM will be postponed to next year. Is the Linus Rare Earth Processing Plant an essential service? The ministry will decide in 5 days, according to a report by Reuters. Malaysia will decide within 5 days whether to allow rare earth miner Linus to operate its processing plant during the movement control order that runs until April 28th, the Ministry of International Trade and Industry told Reuters on Wednesday. Australian company Linus, the world's largest rare earth producer outside China, said it earlier had applied to the Malaysian government for critical industry status as its products are essential to the supply chain of key industries in the country, including medical devices. Its shares rose on news of the request. MITI has not classified rare earth among essential businesses allowed to operate with certain conditions during restrictions imposed to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Still, it is considering Linus' request, the ministry told Reuters. It added that all applications by companies will be evaluated and results will be given within 5 days. Coming up next, we have the WHO's response to Trump, and China is seeing fewer imported cases. The WHO has called on world leaders to unite as Trump continues to become more hostile against the UN body. The head of the World Health Organization said on Wednesday that he regrets US President Donald Trump's decision to pull funding for the agency and that now is the time for the world to unite in its fight against the new coronavirus. Trump's move prompted condemnation from world leaders as global coronavirus infections passed the 2 million mark. The United States is the world's worst affected country and its coronavirus death toll topped 30,000 on Wednesday, according to a Reuters tally. The fatalities have doubled in just a week and set a record single-day increase for the second day in a row. New US cases have been rising by about 25,000 a day, down from a peak of 35,000, according to a Reuters tally. Trump said the data suggests the nation has passed the peak of new coronavirus infections and that he will announce guidelines for reopening the economy on Thursday in Washington. After gradually becoming more hostile toward the Geneva-based WHO, Trump accused it on Tuesday of promoting Chinese disinformation about the virus, saying this had probably worsened the outbreak.
The reality is that the WHO failed to adequately obtain, vet, and share information in a timely and transparent fashion. The WHO failed to investigate credible reports from sources in Wuhan that conflicted directly with the Chinese government's official accounts. There was credible information to suspect human-to-human transmission in December 2019, which should have spurred the WHO to investigate immediately.
WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom told a news conference that the United States has been a long-standing and generous friend of the WHO, and they hope this will continue. Global health campaigner and donor Bill Gates tweeted that halting funding for the World Health Organization during a world health crisis is as dangerous as it sounds, because the world needs WHO now more than ever. But Washington showed no sign of softening its stance as Secretary of State Mike Pompeo pressed China's top diplomat on the need for full transparency and information sharing to fight the pandemic. China has started to see a reduced number of imported cases, but it's not all good news. China reported on Thursday fewer new coronavirus cases involving travelers arriving from overseas, with the Chinese capital seeing new local cases for the first time in more than 3 weeks. The National Health Commission said new imported cases dropped to 34 on Wednesday, down for the third straight day amid stringent border checks and reduced international flights. But the number of locally transmitted cases rose to 12 from 10 a day earlier, with the city of Beijing seeing 3 new local cases for the first time since March 23rd. Overall, mainland China reported 46 new confirmed cases on Wednesday, the same as a day earlier, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 82,341. China's northern border province had become a frontline in China's fight to keep out imported cases, as infected Chinese nationals return over land from Russia. Heilongjiang saw 16 new imported cases, all Chinese nationals who came from Russia. The neighboring autonomous region of Inner Mongolia also saw imported cases from Russia. The Chinese health authorities said the government has further strengthened prevention and control measures to tackle the rising threat of imported cases of the novel coronavirus disease and has sent experts and supplies to help boost the fight in the country's border cities. China has also urged the United States on Wednesday to fulfill its obligations to the World Health Organization after US President Donald Trump halted funding to the body over its handling of the pandemic. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Xiao Lijiang said the pandemic, which has infected nearly 2 million people globally, was at a critical stage and that Washington's decision would affect all countries. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.